May I come in?
आ जाओ.
Assalamu alaikum, sirs, ma'am.
Thank you. Please take your seat.
Thank you, sir.
Please introduce yourself to all of us.
My name is Savera. I belong to District Ghodki in Sindh. I completed my BA in 2020, after which I started preparing for the civil service exam. I am youngest of 5 siblings. My father is an eloquent and self-made man, and my mother a strong woman who's also altruistic. The most prominent traits of my personality are determination, civility, and alertness, and I consider empathy to be my biggest strength. My interests include exercising, listening to music, and drawing. My life motto is in the form of an Italian saying which goes as vivere senza rimpianti, meaning to live without regrets. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So you are coming from Ghodki. Ghodki में आप स्कूल गई थी या नहीं?
Sir, I went to school in Ghodki.
You went to school in Ghodki?
Yes, sir.
In which city or village?
Sir, we live in the city part of Ghodki.
So now you intend to join the federal services. You don't have any experience.
No, sir, I don't.
So you want to join Pakistan, the government of Pakistan.
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell us about Pakistan. What is Pakistan? What is government of Pakistan? Introduce Pakistan to us.
So Pakistan, as far as the physical profile of Pakistan is concerned, it's a country that is located in South Asia, a very important region with respect to geopolitics and economics of the region. And it borders India in the east, China in the north, Afghanistan in the west, and it has a coastline with Arabian Sea, and which is a part of Indian Ocean as well. The government of Pakistan is a parliamentary form of government currently in place, which is bicameral legislature, and the authority lies with people of Pakistan, who elect the prime minister, who executes the power on their behalf. And the other important arms of the government are judiciary and bureaucracy. With respect to Pakistan, the army also plays a great role.
Tell us something about the social structure of Pakistan. How you will explain social structure of Pakistan?
So the social structure of Pakistan can be explained in terms of the economic system, where there is the rich elite class and there are the poor urban middle class. Because Pakistan has a youth bulge and the 64% of population of Pakistan is under 30, so that has developed in the rise of the of the middle class in Pakistan, and that has resulted in the emerging vibrant civil society, which is advocating for more rights and reforms in the already feudal structure of the country. And there exists the issue of the patriarchy, which is deep rooted in the social system of the country. And economy, as far as the economy is concerned, the Pakistani economic system is capitalistic, and which focuses of course on the welfare of its people. And the family system is very strong because we are a country who follow the religion Islam, and it teaches us the ethics of the family bonding. And we are a hospitable people as a society, who extends very hospitality to our neighbors and our society at large.
Welcome to CSPs Academy for CSS PMS preparation. CSS PMS तहरीरी इम्तिहान के तमाम मज़ामीन की ऑनलाइन और ऑन कैंपस तैयारी के साथ साथ सब्जेक्ट सिलेक्शन, असाइनमेंट चेकिंग, क्लास टेस्ट, मॉक एग्जाम, इंडिविजुअल टीचर डिस्कशन और फीडबैक सेशन का इनकाद किया जाएगा। इसके अलावा FPSC की तजवीज़ करदा बुक्स से बने मयारी नोट्स और CSPs पब्लिशर की बेहतरीन बुक्स मुहैया की जाएंगी।
Anila, you are coming from Ghodki. Tell us some rural issues of rural Sindh.
Sir, I would say there are 3 main rural issues that are existing there. Number 1 is the feudal and tribal culture, which results in the criminal culture which is there in the rural Sindh. And there is the second, that is the issue of bonded labor and the forced conversion of Hindus. And the third is the rising urbanization, which is resulting in many issues. So as far as the first issue is concerned, the tribal culture, most of the feudals control the politics of the area, and because the people are not educated and aware of their rights, those feudals technically control all their aspects of the voting, from the voting to how they live their lives, and that results in the criminal culture, which is the offshoot of the politicization of the police force there. And secondly, my second point is the urbanization which is there, and the more and more people are shifting towards the cities, leaving the villages, and that has resulted in the disruption of the family system, the social fabric of the society there, and that has resulted many issues of water and sanitation and the population issues in the urban cities, which are poorly managed right now, and there are even not adequate infrastructure present. And the third issue is that people are unaware mostly. There are no very less facilities of education and healthcare. So even to get the basic healthcare, we have to move to another district that is there, as far as my personal observation is concerned. And in education, we do not get much choices, and there is no career counseling, which results in the limited growth and limited social mobility of the people there. So I think these are the main issues.
Savera, this local government system is protected under the Constitution of Pakistan. Recently, government of Sindh has, I think, conducted these local government elections.
Ji, sir.
What are your views about local government? Is it good or is it something which is superfluous?
So I consider local government to be the core of democracy. The democracy cannot function without having a vibrant and efficient local government system in place. So it is a very good step, because Pakistan historically, it has devolved the powers to the provinces through the 18th Amendment, but it has failed to decentralize the powers to the local governments. So that has resulted in hamperment of the service delivery to the districts at local levels. So I think it's a very good step in the right direction, that our judiciary is taking steps to make sure, and our election commission of Pakistan is making sure that the local government elections are not delayed, as this Karachi incident showed us. So I think that is a step in the right direction.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You did your graduation in 2020
Ji, sir, 2020.
and you didn't go for further studies?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Sir, I am very motivated about continuing my studies, but I wanted to give my first attempt my complete dedication. As I mentioned, to pursue higher studies, we need to move to a different area. So if I decided to move to a different area and reside somewhere else in the city to get a degree, so I wouldn't be able to commit myself to the preparation of the civil service exam. So I took a break of 1 year and gave my best in this exam.
Good. Police is your first choice.
Yes, sir, police.
What is your motivation for that?
Sir, my motivation, I have two reasons for being motivated to join the police service of Pakistan. One is the general, that I consider police to be a noble profession. The people who risk their lives to make sure that the liberty and safety of people is saved. And the other is a more specific reason. As I mentioned, I come from a rural area of the Sindh. That is very much, the police system is considered a very corrupt system, a very politicized system. It is considered that police is there just to fight criminals and just to be an instrument of the politician. So I want to be a good police officer so that I can regain the trust in that institution wherever I am able to serve.
How will you check police excesses at the police station?
Ji, sir.
How will you check police excesses
Ji, sir.
at the police station?
Yes, sir. Sir, as far as my jurisdiction would be there, I would take steps to make sure that my subordinates and the people who are working under my jurisdiction, they are taken into, have a complete accountability of their actions. And I will personally look into that. And that could happen if we create a very friendly and not in a sense that overly friendly, but a comfortable environment, and we work as a team, not as a subordinate and a senior. We work as a team, and we can be accountable to each other by being transparent about our actions.
Give your career a boost with CSS PMS preparation from Civil Services Preparatory School. Join CSS PMS for on-campus and online classes. Join us for your bright future. Civil Services Preparatory School, Jihad Markaz, Islamabad. Register now at 0316 570 1593.
How will you define policy, government policy?
So policy is an action or a decision taken by government to in some area, which involves some measures in certain direction. Sir, I'm not aware of the exact definition, but that just came to my mind.
Just tell us in plain words, what is policy?
So policy is an action taken by government in some direction.
What is the sixth extinction about? The sixth extinction.
Sir, I'm unaware of that. I'm sorry.
What are extrajudicial killings?
Extradition.
Extrajudicial killings.
So extrajudicial killings are those killings which are not sanctioned by some legal instrument or law. And for example, the encounter killing, the fake encounters that happen in the policing system. So that could be the extrajudicial killings. They are not sanctioned by the law and they happen illegally.
But they are, such officers, they are known as dabang officers.
So that's a very unfortunate reality of our system. That
like Chaudhry Aslam
ji, sir.
In Karachi.
Ji, sir. And
Rawan War.
Ji, sir.
And Rawan War.
Ji, sir, bilkul. The case
they
of
are regarded as very effective dabang officers.
Ji, sir.
Why it is so?
So it's a very unfortunate reality of our society, because these people do not see the punishment that they deserve. So the lack of accountability that is present in our bureaucracy as a whole, that makes these people have impunity over their actions. And they just raise higher and higher in power, and then people are just forced to fear them. So that is it.
US history? Huh?
Yes, sir.
In the past and even presently, a number of mass killings are taking place in America.
Ji, sir.
Why? What's wrong with the society over there, and why the gun laws are so relaxed? Due to which, due to the easy availability of guns, such acts are taking place over there.
So as far as USA is concerned, they portray themselves to be the guarantor of the human rights and liberties. So I think this is those liberties which aren't checked. They have resulted in some of the laws and some of the acts which just create a paradox there, that they cannot repeal those laws because they would be against the rights that their constitution offers, and they cannot just put extra checks which are required. So I think this is the over liberty that they have given to people, so they can access the arms and guns, and then they can just go about their whims and use those in the instruments. So I think this is that. Thank you, sir.
Savera.
Yes, ma'am.
What does Savera mean?
So Savera means dawn.
Dawn. While describing the arkan of Islam, you also mentioned jihad.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you define jihad?
Sir, ma'am, I would define jihad as its literal meaning is struggle. So it's of two kinds: struggle against one's own self, one's own ego, and the struggle against an enemy. So I would define the most important aspect of it which is mostly ignored in the society, and jihad is termed as a kind of terrorism and extremism by the West and used as an expression of Islamophobia. But jihad in actuality means fighting your own self and your own desires, which makes you work in an excessive manner and works you against humanity. So I think that is jihad is a struggle to keep your ego in check.
But in Christianity also they have crusades.
Yes, ma'am.
What is your take on that?
Ma'am, they were the historical events which I haven't read about. I want to read about it, so I cannot comment on that right now.
Your book, one of the books that you've mentioned is Awaken the Giant Within.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me what are your takes on that book?
Ma'am, when I read this book, I read it in 2020, but the lessons that it taught me, they just stuck with me. It gives you a very thorough guide on how to improve your financial, your physical, and your personal improvement as in your personality. For example, one of the idea that the author, the Anthony Robbins, gives, which is there with me since then, is that success is directly proportional to an abbreviation that he created called CANI, constant and never-ending improvement. So that is, I think, the core of our life and our struggles, that if we move in a direction constantly with never-ending enthusiasm, then success is ours in whatever field, may it be financial or economic or personal, anything.
Are you interested in international relations also?
Yes, ma'am, I am interested.
So tell me, what is Pakistan's nuclear doctrine?
Ma'am, Pakistan's nuclear doctrine is not a formal one, it is not a written one, but it is derived from the speeches of the important public officials, and it is known to be full spectrum deterrence. So that Pakistan have achieved the capabilities, a second strike or first strike capabilities, and it has moved on from the credible minimum deterrence that was just acquiring the minimum defense outlook of the nuclear state, because Pakistan has India-centric nuclear policy, and India is much larger than us in terms of size and conventional forces. That motivated us to shift our doctrine to the full spectrum deterrence. And it also involves the achievement of the tactical weapons in the short range.
Welcome to CSPs Academy for CSS PMS preparation. CSS PMS तहरीरी इम्तिहान के तमाम मज़ामीन की ऑनलाइन और ऑन कैंपस तैयारी के साथ साथ सब्जेक्ट सिलेक्शन, असाइनमेंट चेकिंग, क्लास टेस्ट, मॉक एग्जाम, इंडिविजुअल टीचर डिस्कशन और फीडबैक सेशन का इनकाद किया जाएगा। इसके अलावा FPSC की तजवीज़ करदा बुक्स से बने मयारी नोट्स और CSP पब्लिशर की बेहतरीन बुक्स मुहैया की जाएंगी।
Are you following the Russian-Ukraine war?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
So yesterday the head of EU went to Kiev.
Yes, ma'am.
What impact do you think will it have on the war?
Ma'am, if the EU, the member of EU went to Kyiv to start some diplomatic negotiations, which I am hoping that it would, so that is going to be a positive development, because USA is completely just has concerned itself to arm Ukraine to just weaken and humiliate Russia. So I think that if EU plays a more moderate role in bringing Russia and Ukraine to the table to negotiate their differences, because EU is very much harmed by the gas prices and subsidies there, and it is facing a domestic crisis because of that. So if it plays a sensible and moderate role, so it is going to be beneficial for the war.
Thank you so much, Savera.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Dr. Saab.
Thank you, ma'am. Elsewhere, you read US history.
Yes, sir.
Virginia was the first state where people from Britain established.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me the history of Virginia and why we call the name Virginia?
So, as far as the name is concerned, I can remember it is named after the Queen Elizabeth. Queen Elizabeth, she was called the Virgin Queen. So, it is named after that, and it was the first settlement.
Okay, that's fine. Tell me, what was the significance of Mayflower Pact and when it happened?
So Mayflower, I don't remember the date, but Mayflower Pact was the pact that was decided by the people who were coming through Mayflower ship to settle into the new America. And it has a significance because it was one of its kind, and it created it created a precedent that people from the colonies, they can join together and work on.
What Bill of the Rights guarantees rights of women in US Constitution?
Give your career a boost with CSS PMS preparation from Civil Services Preparatory School. Join CSS PMS for on-campus and online classes. Join us for your bright future. Civil Services Preparatory School, Jihad Markaz, Islamabad. Register now at 0316 570-1593.
Sir, I cannot recall the specific one.
Okay. Well, when Russia and Germany concluded non-aggression pact, and which year it was? Have you heard about the non-aggression pact between Russia and Germany?
I cannot recall about.
You're a student of international relations. In 1949, there was a Berlin blockage.
Yes,
what
sir.
was the immediate consequences of the Berlin blockage?
The Berlin blockade was a very crucial period in the time of the Cold War, and it resulted in the weakening of Germany.
What Western states concluded after the Berlin blockage?
Sir, I'm not able to.
You didn't heard about the NATO?
Sir, I did.
Okay. Who abrogated the second constitution of Pakistan and which year?
The second constitution of Pakistan was abrogated by General Ziaul Haq.
General Ziaul Haq?
Yes, sir.
In which year?
Year I cannot recall right now.
When second constitution of Pakistan formulated, in which year?
1962.
56 का कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन था, फिर 62 का था,
Yes, sir. Then
फिर 73 का था, दरमियान में कहीं एब्रोगेट तो हुआ है ना.
Oh, this is my last question.
Okay, sir.
When objective resolution presented?
Sir, it was 12th March 1949.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's close the formal session. Let's have informal discussion.
Okay, sir.
ठीक है? You tell us how you feel. How was your performance?
Sir, I am not very much satisfied with my performance.
तो माशाल्लाह you have got positive, अच्छी बहुत सारी अच्छी चीज़ें हैं, बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं जो कंट्रोल करनी है.
जी सर.
इंट्रोडक्शन को 1 पेजर बनाओ, जाके लिखो अपना इंट्रोडक्शन 5-7 सफ़े लिख के फिर उसमें बनाओ कहना क्या चाहती हो आप. ठीक है ना?
ओके सर.
तो यू हैव टू बी केयरफुल. पर्सनल क्वालिटी जो है ना उस पर ज़्यादा, अभी ये प्रोफेशनल इंटरव्यू है, इस पर फोकस करो.
ओके सर.
दूसरी ये कि माशाल्लाह यू आर इंटेलिजेंट, तुम्हारी पर्सनालिटी बड़ी अच्छी है, कम्युनिकेशन स्किल आर्टिकुलेट है, स्टेबल हो, कॉन्फिडेंस भी है, नॉलेज लेवल भी सेटिस्फैक्ट्री है. लेकिन न्यूज़पेपर रीडिंग की तरफ तवज्जो करो. यू जस्ट एक अखबार, अब तुम इंटरव्यू की तैयारी कर रही हो.
जी सर.
पिछले 90 दिन के एक अंग्रेज का अखबार ले लो, न्यूज़ ले लो या डॉन ले लो. नेशनल, इंटरनेशनल, डोमेस्टिक, सोशल न्यूज़ की नोटबुक बनाई हुई है या नहीं?
सर बना रही हूँ.
इस किस्म की एक नोटबुक बनाओ, समथिंग लाइक दैट. एक पेज के ऊपर हेडिंग लिखो, नीचे 1 2 3 4 पॉइंट लिखो. जब आपको जवाब देना पड़ेगा तो आप उन 5-6 पॉइंट को फोकस करेंगे और रिवीजन करती रहो. एनर्जी क्राइसिस है, वाटर क्राइसिस है, पाक अफगान बॉर्डर इशू है, इंडिया चाइना है, चाइना इंडिया है. ठीक है? तो ये करो और माशाल्लाह यू आर फुली मोटिवेटेड, एम्बिशियस है. अब ये लकी यू आर कि तुम्हारे पास टाइम है. एंड यू आर हियर विद अस. वी आर वेरी हैप्पी टू रिसीव यू. आई एम. ठीक है ना? अब इसका फायदा उठाओ. जो हम कह रहे हैं ना इसको सुन लो.
यस सर, ऑफ कोर्स.
ठीक है? तो यू नीड टू प्रिपेयर योरसेल्फ. ये नोटबुक जाके बना लो. 3 महीने के अखबार सारे करो. 80% तुम्हारा इंटरव्यू उसी में से होगा. एवरीथिंग विल बी वेरीफाइड. क्या तुम सवेरा हो, जिस तरह उन्होंने पूछ लिया. ठीक है ना, यहाँ से शुरू होगा और ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन लॉ तक चला जाएगा.
जी सर.
किताबों पे चला जाएगा. ठीक है, अगर तुम हिम्मत करो तो.
सर एक्चुअली टाइम इतना ज्यादा है ना, तो वो मोटिवेशन ही नहीं आ रही तैयारी करने की, तो दैट इज अ
इसीलिए
वीकनेस
तो
ऑन
तुम्हें
माय
हम
पार्ट.
लेके बैठे हैं. You see, this is why we are telling you कि तुम्हारे वीक एरियाज क्या है. तो अब now you need to focus them. I'm glad कि you are here.
Yes.
तो you are going to make it इंशाल्लाह. रूरल सेल से हो तुम, तो पुलिस में आ भी जाओगी. Excellent reply you have given to us.
Thank you so much sir.
हाँ, तो आपने बड़ा अच्छा परफॉर्म किया है. हाँ, और कमिंग फ्रॉम रूरल सिंध बड़ी खुशी हुई कि यू पुट अप दिस परफॉर्मेंस. और मुझे एक चीज़ आपकी बड़ी अच्छी लगी कि आपने 1 साल ऑफ किया, यानी फर्दर एजुकेशन नहीं ली, और इसके लिए आपने किया, ट्राई किया.
जी सर.
और देख लें आपकी मेहनत 1 साल की, इसका फल आपके सामने है, हमारे सामने है. शाबाश.
Thank you sir.
Savera, you are a Savera, mashallah. You have that personality. You are intelligent. You are very articulate. When you write personalities,
Yes ma'am.
like Muniba Mazari is favorite of a lot of people because how she struggled in life,
Yes ma'am.
and despite her handicap, how she manages her life.
Yes ma'am.
But beta, the personalities you write here are not about the personalities, it's about you. So write a personality, write one, but you should have a thorough knowledge of that personality. Emily Dixon, Xi Jinping, entirely different people. So the panelists who will examine you in the final will be evaluating you on what you have written here, and they say, what are the factors that are motivating this young lady in choosing these personalities as a favorite?
Yes ma'am.
So questions will start coming on you, and you might not be very prepared. You know, Muniba, yes, you know a little bit, but you really don't know all her background.
Yes ma'am, I don't.
She has built a narrative which is very successful, but what is the truth? You don't know. So don't write a personality that you're not sure of. Don't write a personality that is controversial. Choose a personality. If Xi Jinping is your favorite, you should know everything about Xi Jinping, his personal life, his political life, his international stature, everything you should know about. Similarly, you said exploring, but exploring what? It doesn't say. So exploring is a very ambiguous term.
Okay ma'am.
Don't put ambiguous terms, because then you can get into trouble with the panel. They can ask you exploring, outer space, exploring ocean depths. What are you exploring? You will not be able to defend. Whatever you write it in a very clear manner, that you don't get into trouble with anybody. Subjects, you should have full knowledge. You know there's a knowledge gap.
Yes ma'am.
You have time. Now prepare for it. And I'm sure you will do very well. You're a winning horse.
Thank you.
Wish you all the best, Savera.
Thank you for the motivation.
So you did very well, but I would say that you have a little knowledge gap in your optional subjects. इसको थोड़ा सा देख लीजिएगा. यूएस बिल ऑफ राइट, आपने हिस्ट्री पढ़ी हो यूएस की, उसमें वुमेन्स के राइट्स को गारंटी नहीं किया गया. आप जनरल स्टडीज भी पढ़ रही हैं, ठीक है, इस चीज़ को भी देखिएगा. और आईआर का आपका थोड़ा सा फिजिक्स नॉलेज है, थोड़ा सा उसको थोड़ा सा रिवाइज कीजिएगा. अभी आपने बताया था कि आपको अभी तक मोटिवेशन नहीं मिल रही प्रिपरेशन के लिए, टाइम ज़्यादा है.
Sir, that is a weakness on my part.
ग्रे एरियाज इनको फोकस कीजिए. ठीक है
जी सर.
चलो देखो, बात सुनो. ये पाकिस्तान की जो है ना, दिस स्टडीज में 1857 से 1947 तक इस पीरियड के 90 सवाल बनते हैं.
ओके सर.
हर साल का एक सवाल मान गया.
यस सर.
तो बस इसको इस तरह देखो, 1857 में क्या इवेंट था, 58 में क्या था, इसी तरह देखोगे ना. 90 में से फिर तुम्हें पता चला कि ये तो सारे 20 इवेंट है जो कि इम्पोर्टेंट है, बाकी तो खाली है. ठीक है.
Sir, this guidance was very important to get started now.
अखबार
Sir, inshallah.
80% यहाँ, 20% वहाँ, और तैयारी अब इस पे करो. Best of luck.
I'll come here again with an improved knowledge.
You come
inshallah.
with improved knowledge, inshallah. You will make it. Best of luck.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.